this session. So the recording has started. My name is Fred Singleton. I'm going to be doing the training for today. We'll be going over how to log in your home screen, how to pull up, view, and print your reports, the report preferences, bundle counter tool, and analysis functionality. So we can get started. As you can see from my screen here, we're already logged in as plant 9151. I'm going to log out just so I can show you how to log in. You would log into the lss.pcfcorp.com link, and you would put in your username and password. So the username and password for the plant 9151 is what I'm going to log into. And I'm going to put in the password. And we're going to log in. And as you can see, the header here is blue. That's an indicator to let you know that you're in a production system. We do have a QA system that you may want to log into if you want to play around. That would be lss-test.pcfcorp.com. And you can tell if you logged into that with the same credentials, you'll see a yellow header. That's how you know you're in QA. Okay? Here, if you want to play around and understand the features and the functionality of anything here, you can come in here and play around to get to know the system. Okay? Anybody have any comments or questions on how to log in? I'm going to move back over here to the production system. Jackie did mention that we do have help documentation. So I'm going to show you how you get to that first. If you go over to the help drop-down menu here, you can see that we have training, DSP comp guide, route planning guide. You would really want to start here with the training. And I'm just going to select that. And I'm going to open that documentation. I'm going to put it over here so we can see it. And here's the documentation. The tools and features we'll be going over will be found in here. As you can see, there's a lot of information here where we walk you through how to log in and your home page screen, what that means, and what you're seeing there. So a lot of good information here. So you might want to take a look at that, download it, and view it. So again, that's the help menu option, training, and when you get into DSP comp and the route planning stuff, that'll be in this drop-down menu here for route planning guide. All right, so today we're going to be going over the route reports, this menu option here, where we have the production reports. This is where you would be able to print all of your reports for today. You could recreate reports, look at UAT reports. The analysis section is where you can do some analysis on your deliveries and include or exclude different products in route books so that you can see what the count looks like, etc. The bundle counter tool, that tool will allow you to enter the number of copies that are in your bundles so that you can see how many bundles each route would receive for a particular product. The report preferences is where you can add or remove different items off of your reports, depending on the preference of the carrier or your your operation of what you want to see on the reports. The reporting groups, that's a little extra tool that allows you to get a little bit fancy with your printing of your report. So if you had a group of people that came in early and you wanted to get their route books out, you could make a reporting group and just print those reports. Okay, so that's what we're going to go over today. We're also going to go over this home screen here. As you can see, you have a few menu options here. Eventually, you'll get to know what all these are for. Okay. Also on the home screen, you'll see a plant option, which if you have the credentials to view other plants, you'll see a list of plants you have access to. Okay, so you could change that. Say if I wanted to see 9151, I could change the view to 9151, and everything will be referencing plant 9151 in this view. Okay. We have a news feed here. This will let you know different activity that has occurred during the processing for your deliveries. So if we had a non-pub day, you would notify us to enter a non-pub day for a particular product, and that would show up here indicating what product is a non-pub for today. Alternate delivery day, same thing. You would be notifying us if you wanted to schedule an alternate delivery day, and that would be moving a product from one day to another. A bonus day is also similar to the other ones, where you would have a product that you would also want to add in for another day of the week that they're not really delivered on. A special delivery day is the same thing. You'll be notified here of what that special delivery is. A one-off is if there was a set of data that's not necessarily in the system and you wanted to have it added into your route books, we would be provided with a file that we would load, and you would see that you have a one-off for the day for whatever product that is. And a late truck. Late truck is basically what it says. You have a product that showed up late at your depot, at your plant, and you wanted to have that particular product moved to another day to show up in the route book. So you will be able to enter a late truck. Any questions on the news feed portion of your home screen?
What does pub stand for? I don't know what a non-pub day is. What does pub stand for? PUB, what is that?
Publication. So in some cases, say for like, I know in New York we'll have a lot of Jewish products may have a non-pub day for one of their publications because of a holiday, let's say. And so they would notify us. We would make that publication a non-pub, and it would show up here as a non-pub. So that product won't show up in the route books for that day. Any other questions? Okay, moving on, the performance. These are quick links to other features as far as complaints, but you can click on these to get your CPM report of where you're at with your complaints. That's complaints per thousand. Hot complaints. That will give you your list of hot complaints for today. Repeat complaints. Those are accounts that have repeated complaints over a period of time. Previous day's complaints, that would be obviously yesterday's complaints. And next day recoverables, those are complaints that were for today that wanted a recovery for tomorrow. So just for an example, we can click on, let's just say, let's try repeat complaints. This will bring you over to the complaint section, and then you would put in your date. Doesn't look like there's anything for today. We can go back, say for a period of time, see if there are any. I don't think that there is any. So let's go back to the home screen. This button over here will bring you back to the home screen. So if you ever get lost in these menu options here, you can click on your home screen and that'll get you back to here. So this is a quick, easy way to get to your complaints. It's basically the menu options that show up here. Okay. Any questions on the performance portion of your home screen? There's some other options here that you'll be able to view. What's new is information that you can add in events that are happening at the plant or company-wide. You would be able to see here throughout the training. You'll be shown how you can enter information here. Vacant routes, that will show you routes that do not have a carrier assigned to them. So you'll see a list of routes here. Here you'll have the weather for your area. Looks like today it's going to be 66 degrees, heavy rain. Tomorrow, moderate rain, so it's pretty rainy down there, at least according to this. Any comments or questions on what you see on the home screen here?
I'm sorry, Fred?
Yes.
Hi, this is Annie.
Hi, Annie.
How you doing? I have a question regarding the performance area and under the repeat complaints.
Mm-hmm.
Under the say if you miss a Sunday customer, and normally our misses get redelivered that day. If it does still get redelivered that day, will the repeat complaint still show up the following week on a Sunday or like on a Saturday stating that it was a repeat? And will it kind of like come through, I should say, I guess, as a reminder for the following week that we need to make sure we get that out?
Repeat complaints will give you a list of complaints for a period of time. So, depending on how far back you want to go in time, you'll get a list of complaints or customers that have complained multiple times. So it all just depends on how far you go back in time. Does that answer your question? It all depends on what you enter here. So it's just a list of all the accounts that have multiple periods.
So it's just going to show how many repeat complaints is in within so many weeks or days.
Right.
What are you saying? Okay.
Right. So if you have an account that has called in and said that they didn't receive their paper, 3 times during the week, and you go here and you go back a week, you should see that customer show up in the list as a complaint paper for whatever day that was.
Okay, I got it.
Then you can notify that carrier, hey, make sure you deliver this paper. They've complained, several times this week. Make sure you deliver this paper.
Gotcha. Okay.
I have a question. This is Calvin.
Hi, Calvin.
Hey, I think what you may be asking, I guess if you go back to that repeat complaint screen, is there, for example, I understand you can change the dates, but that may give you a large list. Is there another way that a filter or something can be added so that we could filter this based on delivery schedule, such as Sunday only customers? This way we don't get maybe a list of 20 customers when we just want to get those 3 Sunday only customers or something like that.
Well, I mean, you could look at today's complaints. That's one way you can view complaints. I don't know if there's a way that you could really filter out a particular day, other than going back to, let's say, here where you can select a particular day. So if Sunday was the 21st, we can pick out Sunday. Let's see if it'll Sunday and show complaints there. Would that be helpful? There's a previous complaint, and that'll show you the complaint for Sunday.
Well, that will show all the complaints for Sunday. I think what they're looking for is if they just want to see Sunday-only customers.
Yeah. For example, if a person has missed, if they're in the entire operation, if there's 3 customers that have been missed the past 3 Sundays, is there a way to make that list? With only Sunday customers, or only Sunday, Thursday
customers that are Sunday only? No, I would have to get back to you on that. I don't believe that there's a way that we can filter that out.
Hey, Fred, it's Matt. I believe they could, produce a report for all of the complaints that were related to Sunday's delivery, and then export that into Excel. And then, of course, you could filter and that way tables whatever you'd like to do at that point.
Yeah. Looking at this, I could download this by clicking on this download button here. And if I were to open this spreadsheet, let's take a look and see what's in the spreadsheet. Let's see if this will help. All right, so in the spreadsheet, we'll have a lot of different information, the route, whether it's recoverable or not. You have the account numbers. You have the product. You have the reason code, the address and everything. If we move over here, we do have a delivery map that you can probably filter if you're familiar with Excel, and select a delivery map that would be just for Sunday only, which would be the one with the Y all the way at the end. And that would be all the customers that have a Sunday only delivery map. So these are Sunday only customers.
That would work.
We have the ability to sort within PCF by any of those columns.
I'm sorry, I really didn't hear that question. What was the question?
Sorry, within PCF, like when you go back to the view where you have the list, do we have the ability to sort any of those columns? Like here, this is right here. Do you have the ability to sort?
If you click on the header, you'll be able to sort. So you could sort by route, whether it's recoverable or not. So you could move all the Y's or N's to the top. You can sort by date. So you just click on the header, and that'll sort ascending or descending.
Thank you.
Okay. There's something else here, a custom view, where you can check off things that you may not need to see in this view. So that's another thing in the complaint section. So again, you would want to, change the date to whatever period of time that you want to view. And from that view, you can download your locations, your complaints, and then you can sort through that information, which way you deem fit. All right. So let's back to the home screen. Any other questions on the home screen? Okay, so we're going to start looking at production reports. And so to print your reports, you'll go to route reports, production reports. In this view, you'll have a couple of tabs here: reports, recreate, prelim, and ad hoc. Reports is where you'll find your reports, your production reports that ran for that evening. You'll get a list of routes here. Some of these routes should look familiar. If you have access to multiple plants, you'll be able to select the little drop-down menu here and select the plant that you want to view the reports. And here we'll default to today's day, delivery day, but you can also go back to yesterday or last Tuesday to view those reports. Most of your reports right now are going to be 2-column route books. And to print these reports, you can select a report, a route, select the 2-column route book, and select Get Reports. You can select one, you can select a few of them, or you can select all your routes, select the 2-column route book, and click Get Report. So let's take a look at the 2-column route book. Okay. Here's a 2-column route book. This is pretty much the format of the 2-column route book. As you can see, it has 2 columns. So once you get down through the deliveries on the one page, you go back up to the top and continue down to the bottom of the page. You'll have the route number that the route book is for, the plant number. There'll be some information here if you added that in. Address is not routed would be what we would call a kick out. And there would need to be some geocoding or something for that account to be routed in the route book. You have information here, directionals, that will get you from your starting location to your first delivery. The R is for either right or left. So then you'll have the street, and it'll indicate the address is either on the right or left, the product, and the draw. There's other information on the route book as far as the process ID. That just shows you, what identifying number for this particular route book and when it was processed. So as we scroll down to the bottom, at the bottom we'll see totals for all the products that are on the route and the draw. You'll have a number of accounts that were sequenced in the route book, how many miles, service time, drive time, and total time. Any comments or questions of what you see on a 2-column route book?
Yes, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
This is Katrin for Fayetteville. I see the name Claudel. You put the customer's name on the addresses. Is that correct? Those are customers' address names. They are the house number.
Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Yes, and you could change what you see on the route book, and we'll get to that. That's in your report preferences.
Uh-huh.
So you can add more information, or you could move, some things off of the report that you may not want to see.
Okay.
So when we get to that, we'll show you how to change those options.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Fred,
Yes.
this is Tom. I'd like to see if you could show us if a customer had multiple products, what that looks like. You have an example of that?
Well, this particular route book appears to have multiple products: the AJC, the UT, and the
No,
WJ.
a particular customer. Say they receive AJC, Wall Street Journal. What does that look like on the route book?
A particular customer. Okay, let me see if there's.
There's none on this route.
Okay.
Not on this route. You have to pick another route.
Do you have a route? Do you have a route that you know that occurs?
14200. The next one. Use that one or this one. It's fine too.
Okay, let's take a look at this one.
Uh-huh. Let's see.
Make it bigger.
Go to the next page.
Next page.
Oh, where are we going? 14200. Oh, we just changed something. Maybe this doesn't. Not this one. We changed something. Would you pull another route? 14204. Pull the 14204.
Let's try that one.
Yeah, right in the beginning. Yeah, the Heritage Parkway, they're getting multiple products. You see, it's the same address. 21.
Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you.
Well, I have a question to that one. Can you not box one customer with multiple products instead, like 3 boxes per customer?
Yeah, this is the format of the report. So all the reports are going to print out like this for the 2-column route book. There are other reports that you may like how that looks, but this is the only report that's going to give you a direction to the route, other than the 1-column route book. But it's to identify each particular product with the draw. And there may be a second instruction, So
yeah, it would be easier to see if you have this one customer, the 1821, in one box. That will make it easier for carriers too. But that's okay. You can work with that.
Okay. Any other questions on the 2-column route book?
No.
Okay. And again, the draw is at the bottom with the total time. All right. Okay, so there's some other reports here, summary reports, like the carrier mail, the draw crosstab report. There's 2 of those. One will show the delivery type. One will just show you the draw. The other one is another draw recap report and a route summary. So let's take a look at the carrier mail. All right, so for the carrier mail, you'll see that it's the mail for today, the route, the plant, the CPM report will display up here. The total products for today for this particular route. It'll let you know what the draw is for each product. And that's the type of information it will give you for each route. It'll also show you the complaints for that route, if there are any. So for this complaint here, it's a missed delivery on 5/22. So you have the account number, the address, customer's name, the copy, the product, the delivery map.
Fred, this is Melinda. I have a question on the mail regarding the stop delivery. A lot of the carriers, for instance, if you have a vacation stop, it's not showing why it's stopping. On our old mail, we used to get with the vacation start, give us restart. It's not, and some carriers asked me about that last night.
Oh, those accounts. Yeah, those accounts can be placed on a vacation hold. So they'll be moved to a vacation hold route until that vacation is over. I don't think you have
it's not going to be on the mail, so the carrier, when the carrier gets to stop, all they know is to stop delivering. They don't know if they're going to be stopping it just temporarily on vacation, because a lot of people don't use the book all the time. So they just want to know if they have to start it back up again later on. They want to be prepared for it.
Yeah, so this is Matt, so if I could just jump in for a second. So when we process transactions in our system, it's based on a comparison between 2 days worth of information. So the information that we got yesterday versus the information we get today. So when we get a stop, we don't know why the person's stopping. We just see that it's not there anymore. And so we just pass that through as a stop. So so the system doesn't even know why the person's stopping or if they're coming back or when they're coming back. Unless, as Fred mentioned, it's a specific vacation hold where they're saying, we're going away for a week, but we want you to hold those papers and deliver them when we get back.
So in other words, we just need to do a vacation hold route and check every day, probably. So they'll know. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, well, the vacation hold would be if the customer would want all those papers once they return. So if they're away for a week, you would be holding that week's worth of papers and delivering them when they return. So, but yeah, thanks, Matt. That's good information. So as you can see, you'll see all the information for each route in your mail report. And again, we have a few more complaints here and another stop. So that carrier understands what's going on with these particular customers and what to do. So you have a wet paper here.
Good morning. Can you hear me? Good morning.
Yes. Good morning.
So what time does the system update?
What time does the system update?
When are the books active for that night's delivery, the next day's delivery?
Well, I think your information is processed around 8 or 9 o'clock for your final production run. So, yeah, and that'll be for, like, you can see the date and time here of when this was processed for today. So this was processed at 5:22 at 8:24 p.m. Okay, so whatever information that we have at that time, that's what's in this particular route book or in this report.
So that's books and mails, or just basically books?
Right.
All reports are just the books, mails, everything?
Right. Everything is processed at this time. 8:24 p.m. for the previous day. That'll be for this morning. It's route books.
And as for folks who are on the call whose plans aren't live yet, once you do go live, you'll begin receiving an email every evening when final run is complete. So as an example, last night, I think the email went out at 8:51 is when all the plants were done. So as you go live with your plants, you'll get added to the nightly email to let you know that final run is complete.
Yep. Any other questions on the carrier mail report?
Yeah, I have a question. On the vacation holds, our mail now gives us every day tells us this customer is on hold. Please hold the paper. Is that going to be repeated on the mail in this system? Or are we just going to get a one-time?
You would actually have a vacation hold report here. It would create another report for a vacation hold.
But will it show up on the carrier mail on a daily basis that they're supposed to be holding that paper?
No, the carrier mail is just going to show that it's a stop. The vacation will tell you that they want you to hold that paper for whatever period of time.
Okay, can you pull out for me the 69204? There's a sample of a vacation stop on, and maybe that can a little bit more on the 69204.
69204?
Yeah, if it is still there, so there should be the carrier mail, sir. Not the route book, the carrier mail.
Oh, you want to look at what's in the carrier mail? Okay.
The carrier mail and then the 69204 route down.
Okay, you want to see
69204.
Okay,
Yeah, there it is. So let's see. There should be a maybe there is a, if you go down a little bit, maybe it gives us something about a vacation stop. There should be one.
So if this was on a vacation, it would, and they wanted a restart, it would show up as a restart. But
I wanted to see that there was one on hold that may show, but can you scroll down a little? Is there next page to that? Okay, it's not showing. There's nothing showing about this vacation hold. Okay. Not on that one.
So there are a couple of ways that vacation holds are handled in the system. So when you guys do vacation holds, are you expecting the carrier to collect those papers and hold them themselves and then deliver them, or does the staff at the distribution center collect them and hold them?
The carrier.
Carrier.
Yeah.
The carriers do it. Okay. So I'm just going to take a note, because that's, so when we set it up, so to the question earlier about will the carrier see it? So if the way that you do it is that the carrier holds the papers, then yes, the carrier would get a message each day saying this person is on vacation, hold the paper for them.
Well,
and then when they come back, they'll get a restart. This person has come back, and you should have 7 papers to give them.
Well, the question would be for that one, is the vacation hold in the account, in the addition drawer, for the carrier, or where is that paper, where do we know the paper is counted to? Normally when it is on hold, the carrier has that in the drawer. So where's that paper showing up, this vacation stop hold?
So if it's actual vacation hold and the carrier is going to collect the papers, then the carrier that would be included in the draw for the carrier for that day.
Yep.
It is now.
That makes sense.
Okay, Fred, can we look at one in 9151? I've got one right here that's on hold for vacation packs here to see if it's on carrier mail is actually on there.
9151?
Uh-huh.
Oh, and plan 9151?
Rockdale branch. Route 30253 304.
All right. Well, this is the vacation hold route that I was talking about.
So what that means is that the way that 9151 is set up is that it's set up for the distribution staff to get the papers and collect them. So it's just 2 different ways that you can do it. So if you want to have it done where the carrier gets the message every day, we can do that.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So Fred, thanks a lot for that. So I'll make a note, Fred, and we can follow up with Paul's team about getting this switched over for them.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right. So this is what the vacation hold looks like. All right. Total of 5 copies. Total of 6 copies. All right.
So it basically tells us for how many days the customer has a vacation hold. So if they say, oh, since, it's 3 copies. Okay.
Yeah, it's on hold since this date, and you're looking to hold 5 copies, so basically 5 days.
Yeah. Well, that's not bad either. But the carriers like to collect their papers. They would have it, so they're making sure.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Once you set this up where the carriers collect the papers, we're not going to have a report for vacation hold for the branch. It's like you show at the bottom here. Is that correct?
Yeah, I would think that you would still have this as a like summary report for everything that's in the plan.
That's good. Because if they are not there, then we know what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what you would want to report here, right, showing a vacation hold just particular to that particular route, if there is one.
Oh, okay.
Which are you looking for? Or are you looking for it to be on the report itself?
On the report.
On the 2-column route book where it indicates, just pull up the column route book, if this particular address here was on hold, you would want to see a message here, vacation hold.
No, it shouldn't be in the route book at all.
It shouldn't be in the route book at all. No.
Yeah, I would say it should not be in the route book at all. If it's on vacation hold.
Yeah, you would see it. The carrier would see it on the mail, but it wouldn't be on the delivery list.
But it could be, right? You could add that to it, right?
And when it comes back, it would be good to have a message to remind the carrier in the book to deliver the vacation back.
Both stop and hold, stop and restart will be both good.
Well, I don't know if you would really want to have it shown in the route book because it would be giving you driving directions to a vacation hold.
Yeah,
so you really wouldn't want that in the route book, right?
That's right.
The mail.
Okay, so you would want it in the mail or a separate vacation hold report like you see here, but just particularly to the route.
To the mail.
Yeah.
To the mail.
Or in the mail report, in a carrier mail report.
Right.
Okay. We'll look into that. Let's see. There are a couple other reports here. This is 9151, so it looks like there's a couple of other reports here. We'll take a look at these. This is a label address order report. So you have an idea of what that looks like. So when you would print this out, you would select the correct Avery label so that the labels print out correctly. You do have a report preference that controls what you see on the label. This one has the account number, the product, the address, and the customer's name. Okay.
Does this report print out all customers or just ones that are tagged somehow in the system that we need a label for it?
This report would be everything that's on the report. Every address that's on the report would have a label.
Is there a way to only tag certain ones?
There is an indicator that we can receive through ASL that will indicate a particular customer can get a label report, and a label report can be printed for that, for only the customers that are flagged for a label.
So we couldn't do it, but we could set it up. So you guys could do it for us?
Yes.
Okay.
Just to be clear about that, we could send you a list of, we could send you some account numbers and say we would like label report just for this particular route and these particular accounts.
Well, it's a flag for a label indicator flag that would be sent in ASL.
And ASL is
in the ASL that would indicate that that particular account would be flagged to have a label.
And would that be the only addresses on that report we received?
That would be a report, yeah, a label address report like this.
Only for those accounts.
Only for those accounts.
On that route.
Yeah, when you say ASL, you're referring to the subscriber.
Yeah, the subscriber information that you guys send to us to process.
Right. Okay. Well, that's something I guess we would have to speak with, I guess, Mike or Philip and his team about how we can have those addresses flagged in the system so that they'll come through that file.
Is that something that could be developed before it goes live? That we submit those account numbers on the on those labels accounts that we submit before we go live?
That's something that we would have to look into. I don't know if Paul Donata is on the call or not.
That's something we would have to look into. That's our active subscriber list. So we just have to check to see what flag we would have to put on that file with Mike, Sean, and Philip, and then we can let the group know.
Right. Yeah, that would be a lot more professional than contractors writing the room numbers and names on the papers themselves. Thank you.
Okay.
Paul's not on the call.
Yes.
Fred, Paul's not on the call, but I am. So, but yeah, so I think you're all set though.
Okay, thanks, Debbie. We also have a one-column route book. We can take a look at that. It's the same as the two-column route book. And you can see how that looks. Same information as the two-column route book, except it's spread out for the entire page. Obviously, you will be printing more pages with this type of route book, but there may be some carriers that like this type of route book. Maybe easier for them to read. Same information on the two-column route book.
How many characters do you have in the delivery instruction box?
In the delivery instructions box?
Yeah, how many characters can we use?
I don't know exactly how many characters are available there. That's a good question.
Wait, so the delivery instructions or where? I'm sorry, I'm just trying to.
Yeah, I think he wants to know how many characters are available for the delivery instructions. I don't think that there's that.
And I don't remember the cutoff, but that delivery instruction is actually coming from the publisher. So we do cut that off, but we do. I can get back to you on that, but it is that just so we're clear, that delivery instruction is coming from the publisher. I'll get back to you on that answer.
So can we not put any delivery instructions on an account?
Well, delivery instructions are actually from the publisher, and Fred will go over, I think, at some point. If you wanted to do something like specific to the address, you can do something for that. But this is delivery instructions that are actually related to what the publisher is sending to the account.
Right. I don't understand what you mean by the publisher.
Yeah.
Well, from the ABC, so from the Atlanta Journal, they send that and say, okay, 871 Mill Street wants to add a delivery to the front porch. That's actually coming from the Atlanta Journal itself.
That's coming from the subscriber account in News Cycle, Kathy. When she said
right, and that's where you. Thank you for clarification.
Okay,
so that's,
gotcha.
So that
we
would
can
be,
still, yeah, that's what I was making sure.
That's
we can
where
still
you would
put a note on account, and it'll drive it over here to be on the route book.
Yes.
And you want to do that because if a customer were to call,
yes,
you had it just
definitely.
here, right? So you want to make sure that News Cycle has it, so that if a customer calls, you don't want to have it just here. You want to have it, you want to have it in News Cycle so it appears here. That way you'll have that information for customer service.
Yeah. I was just making sure that we could put notes on account. That's how we put notes on account now.
Yes, and we have a lot of clients. All of them use the News Cycle, and I've never heard anyone complain about the because I know I haven't very familiar with News Cycle, and I've never heard anyone complain about the delivery instructions from going from News Cycle to here. But I'll double check the number of characters. I hope that helps clarify.
Yes, it did. Thank you.
So on the address, it's where it has the subscriber's name. If it's a business, is there a way when the information goes to the publisher that information could be noted on that particular account, especially if it's a business or bank or whatever the case might be? Is that a part of the script when the account starts, when a new account starts, or is it just something that's been pulled from the current write-up file?
Well, you would have that information coming from, like we just said, from the AJC, from the client.
So if the AJC doesn't have that information now, whether or not it's a business, it won't be included on these books.
Well, there is a preference where you can show the business name so that you know it's a business, but there's also a way that you can enter information that you want to display on that particular route book as well. It's kind of jumping ahead here, but if I was to pull up an account here, there would be a way where you can add in address instructions to that particular account that would show on the route book, as long as you have that preference selected on your report preference. We'll get to that.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay. Let's see. The 7-day active list, that's another report. And I will show you how you get these reports active in the system. Here's what a 7-day report looks like. As you can see, it doesn't have any driving instructions or anything like that, but it does give you the street, house number, the publication. It will give you the draw day of the week. So if it's a Sunday only, you know that by the draw only being for that day, the account number. Some carriers, like this type of report so they can see where they're going all week. There's a way that you can recreate reports if you don't already have it available in a particular plant. Let me go to. So for this particular route, let's just say I wanted to recreate a 1-column route book. I can do that here. And that'll just be for that day. Or I could select any one of these reports that are available that you can recreate. And you could have it based on the plant report preferences or the route report preferences or staff, and we'll get into that. So to recreate a route book or a report, you can come here, you can select the route or all routes, and you can select one column route book. You can select a active subscriber list. Let's try that one. Active subscriber. Right. This is what the active subscriber looks like. It's similar to the 7-day list, but this list is just for today. So you have the street, the house number, the draw, the product, the name or company name. And again, you can add or remove different items that you want to see or display on the report. We will get to that. This is how you would recreate a report. These other tabs, these are tabs that we use for testing. If there was a preliminary run being done, which there isn't, you would see reports here that you could view before the production reports are done, but you won't see anything there. And in the ad hoc section is if you were doing a restructure or you wanted to test a different work area design, which that'll come much later, you'll be able to come here and select a solution that you created to view what the reports would look like here. So these are testing. You really won't have anything in these two tabs. Your main reports are here, and if you wanted to recreate a report in a different format, you can do it here. That is your report section. Any comments or questions on that?
Question, when Fayetteville goes live, the current delivery sequence will be imported in, or will it recreate the delivery runs in the new system itself?
The sequence is optimized in the system to its most optimized order. If that order is not what you are looking for, the carrier is looking for, you would need to go in prior to go live and sequence that route or any route in the order that you want.
So you're saying the delivery sequences are going to change when we go live, unless we do something?
The delivery sequence is going to be what the system determines is the most optimal way to deliver.
So once again, the delivery sequence is going to change unless we go in and do something.
Unless you go in and optimize it to what you want before you go live.
That's a yes.
What about it? Yes.
Right.
Willie, in some cases, PCF and RouteSmart would both optimize it the same way. But
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Different system.
I'm okay with the optimization. Don't get it. I don't want that to be misunderstood. I'm okay with that. That's a good thing. I guess my next follow-up question was that if she's going to route, has the Fayetteville branch been tagged to its proper location at this point?
Doesn't look like that. It's not. I saw that already. They're still coming too far from the south, Willie. Too far.
All right, say that again. I hear a lot of noise in the background. I really didn't hear what that question was.
Well, my question was that is the Fayetteville branch geocoded to its proper location versus where it's currently geocoded now in RouteSmart. RouteSmart has it coming from a different location.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're looking to geocode all the accounts in the correct location. If it's in the wrong location, it will be moved to the correct location in this system.
That's what I'm asking about the branch itself, the starting point, not the individual addresses, but the starting point for each route.
Starting point.
The plan, Fred.
The starting point is the starting point that we were provided for each plant.
Okay.
So,
so the question is that do you have the correct location for where Fayetteville is actually located? That's the question.
So for this particular plant at Fayette, we have 907 Highway 86 South, Fayette, 30215. Is that the correct location?
It's the right address. It is. Can we look at it on the map?
It's there.
That's perfect.
It's there. It's there. They have it on the right location. Now it's there. But actually, yeah, there's the DFSC, the Fayette County. So they're on the right location now. It's not coming from the south anymore. So that should be right. But regarding to that, sir, when will those maps be updated? What is the time framing that those maps, new maps, will be updated? Because we have a lot of locations there, the streets are on the maps, and then it's so hard for us to get the carriers to the right locations because the new subdivisions don't exist, streets don't exist in Route Smart. So will your system have the right thing?
Right. That's something that we're currently working on, updating the maps for each of these territories. In some cases, there's some heavy lifting that needs to be done when it comes to updating these streets, but I do have a team of people that are working on updating these areas. There's whole neighborhoods that need to be drawn in on the map. So we're manually drawing them in and pinning the accounts to where they need to go. So
And
we're trying.
Where will we send an email to? Do we get any information where to send it to for the request?
If there's anything that we can't locate, which we're pretty good at locating, addresses. If there's anything that we can't locate, we will let you know and see if you could provide us with information about, any particular account that we can't find.
Yeah, so you will provide us with an email we can send it to and say, hey, this is the new subdivision. It's located here and there. So you can point that into the system, to the maps.
Yes, there's a portal that you would be able to enter that information into for any issues like that. And we'll research that and, update the maps accordingly.
Good. That's what I need. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. All right. So we're going to jump to the analysis section. The analysis section is a place where you can select a number of routes and select just a publication or all your publications. You can select a particular day and print a report. Some people may want to do this because there's a product or publication that'll be going away, and they may want to see how does that really impact, our routes. So you may want to select that particular publication that's going away and see what the draw is for each route. So you know how many accounts each route would be losing. So you could use the information provided here for that. It wouldn't be something that you would deliver off of, but you can do some analysis, adding a publication or eliminating a publication, or just selecting one publication for a particular day just to see how many of those accounts are on a particular route. So let's just say we wanted to select a group of routes, and we wanted to say, this particular account will be going away, and let's say we select all the frequencies for every day, and we wanted to see what the draw crosstab report is for that. I just want that report. Okay, so as you can see here, these are the routes I selected. This is the product. This is the draw count for all 7 days, and that would be the total. So that's how many of the I guess that would be the Wall Street Journal that are on these routes. Any questions about that? It's a way you can analyze your routes and understand the different products and the total draw and be able to put it in any report format you want.
What does crosstab stand for?
It's just a format where it's kind of like a grid where you'll see the routes on one side, and across the top you'll see all the different publications. So if I were to select more than just the Wall Street Journal, you would see another column for the other products.
Right. So you'd have JC, USA, Wall Street Journal, all of them.
Right. I could have selected all of them. I would see, you know, a crosstab of all the different products.
Yeah, this was the one I was looking for. Thank you.
You have all those no and yes. Why you don't use it from Sunday, the frequencies, like it used to be? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, or Saturday is the end of the week. You call them all N and Y. Is there a way that you can put it on the daily days, like Sunday?
Well, okay, so the frequency is Monday through Sunday.
Or that, but if
so the N means there's no delivery. Yeah. The Y means there is a delivery.
Yeah, we could identify this easier for the days, like Sunday as an S and Monday as an M. So then they didn't know, and it was X'd out on the days where they didn't got it. How do I describe this? I don't know. Mark? Mark, try. You know, we had it always from Sunday to Saturday.
I know what you're saying, but basically they use a different format, Katrine. What you're looking for is, you got it right now where it shows, you know, Sunday it marks as an S and Monday it marks as an M. They just use a frequency starting with Monday and going through Sunday.
Right, but if you give a 7-day book period, do a new period, and they're looking precisely for those, it's hard for them to identify the days really the customers get the paper. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but they're just going to have to get used to looking at it, saying, okay, the first day is Monday, so if it's got an N, then you don't deliver a paper there on that particular day.
Right. Yeah, I know. It's just sometimes harder for them.
I mean, do you give many carriers 7-day route books anyhow?
In the beginning, yeah. They all get a 7-day book. Because they like
so
and just click the bottom one.
Yeah, if you wanted a 7-day, you can get a 7-day report. Well, let me go back here. If you're talking about for something to deliver, let's go back to the report section up here. That's the 7-day active report.
Okay, let's see what it looks like.
Yeah, I thought I showed you that one. Let's see. I'm a little hung up here. Okay. Let's recreate a report, and let's do a 7-day active.
Yeah, it's a list. That's not a book. Yeah. Yeah, you have a list. It's not a delivery. It's a list. It's not a delivery book. It's okay. You figure that out.
Right. Yeah, it's a list of all 7 days. That'll show you what the draw is.
Yeah, not the draws.
The route book, the delivery list, or the route books are for today, not for all 7 days. If you want a list for all 7 days, you would get a report like this. Okay.
Yeah, but this is not what I was looking for. You had it in the other report. You had it in the other one you were on before, where the 7 what you called it, a cross. It was in that section, and there's your 7-day. Should be a 7-day delivery book. Somewhere should be a 7-day delivery book.
Yeah, well, the cross tab is not really showing you a delivery. It's just showing you the draw.
So we don't have a 7-day delivery book. 7-day, just a route book for 7 days.
There's not a route book for 7 days. There's an active subscriber 7-day list.
Okay. Can they be created, a 7-day delivery book? Can they be created in your system? Can you create them in there or add them to it? Not a list, a route book. We used to have route books. So when the new carrier goes to the route, he sees all the addresses they're coming through his whole week delivery. All subscribers.
That would have to be something we would have to look into.
Okay.
All right, but this would be your 7-day active list. All right.
Right.
Any other questions on the analysis section?
These reports that have been created, can any of these be, I see PDFs, can Excel or CSV files be made from these in lieu of PDFs?
If you have some type of PDF converter, you might be able to convert this into a Word document or maybe a text file.
We need to convert it to an Excel file.
Yeah, you would have to have some type of file PDF converter to convert the file.
So who do we need to talk to about that? Because we do need to have this be able to go to I need it to be able to move it into an Excel file when need be.
You need to buy it.
Yeah, I guess that would be your IT people.
Okay.
Kathy, we should have converters on our computers.
That's what I thought, but if we don't, we need to get them. I just didn't know if it would work with this. I know it works with Synchronet.
Well, I mean, if you're converting a PDF to an Excel, it doesn't matter where it starts from.
Okay, good. Okay, well, that's what I wanted to make sure that we could.
Yeah, I guess you would just go into whatever your converter application is and select the PDF file that you want to convert. I'm not sure how the formatting will look once you convert it. Some converters don't do too well with heavily formatted PDF files, but you can try.
I guess I'm confused as to why you need it in Excel.
Why do I need it in Excel?
Yes, so this is what Fred's showing you, is just to show you, if you wanted a delivery list, he's just showing you a delivery list. If there's something in specific you need in Excel, Fred can show you a different place that you can get an Excel download of all the accounts on a route.
Well, I need
that will be a little later.
Well, I need a 7-day cross tab report done that way when we're having to pull like routes that are open districts, and I have to have exactly what they deliver for that week on every route. And I have to pull
You
that
want it
to a spreadsheet to be able to pay the people because they're paid per piece.
Okay. So that later, a little later in the training, he'll show you some download deliveries, and it will show you, but that will be by the day, and it would show you exactly what they delivered that day.
And they're done.
And that, I think that might be more helpful.
Well, I don't know about day, but I'm, you know, for all products.
Yeah, it'll be for all of your deliveries, active and non-active. You would be able to pull down, you know, all the data for your plant. It'll come out in an Excel spreadsheet, and it'll have a lot of different columns in it with a lot of different information. And you would have to, you know, massage that data into what you're looking for. But it's still, even at that point, it wouldn't be a route book that you can go and get driving directions out of.
No, I don't have that. I was looking for that.
Just data.
Right.
So let me just give you an example. I'm just going to go here into the Start Mail and download deliveries, and I'm going to download the deliveries for plant 9152 for CMG Final. And download locations. So this will be all the locations that are in the plant. Just give it a minute.
Fred, this is John. While we're looking at that, the carrier compensation module, when we get to that point, I think that's what Kathy's trying to get at, is if we have an open district and we need to be able to do payroll, she's looking for a report that'll give her, here's everything that got delivered by a carrier.
Right. That's
route.
Yeah, that's a totally different section.
But I think that's what she's driving.
Yeah,
at. Find the way to do it. I think there's going to be a way to do it anyway.
Yeah, thank you, John. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you may be able to get what you're looking for there.
I realize that's down the road. It'll help.
Right, and if that's what you're looking for, then that's also taken care of. I thought it was just because you wanted to see the actual locations, and so if it's the carrier compensation that you just need to see it, then no, we do have ways to show you exactly what's been delivered. What Fred was showing you right now is just to show you what you, if you really need an Excel file to be able to do a comparison.
Yeah, no, this is just to kind of be able to pull all that route information per weekly basis, because I know that all this stuff is only there for 8 days. On the 9th day it drops out in new places, right?
Well, that's just for these reports. That's just for the daily reports. If you're talking about compensation, that's not the case.
Okay.
Because we do have the compensation on a 2-week basis. So, that information is still there. So I think that's probably the confusion. And what Fred's trying to tell you, beautiful picture. What Fred's trying to tell you is that we have the person that does the compensation, because the compensation module is very encompassing and very detailed, is actually not on the phone right now. So those people would be able to give you all that information.
Yeah, so we'll put that on the back burner. I don't want to waste anybody's time on that. I was looking for it the other day and wasn't able to figure it out, so it was just a question in my head, so sorry.
No problem at all. Thanks, Fred.
Okay, so we're going to close this out. So I'm running out of time here.
Yeah. Sorry.
All right, so that was the analysis tool. We're going to move on to the bundle counter. In the bundle count tool, this is a tool that you can use if you know the number of copies that are in a bundle for a particular product, and you want to know how many bundles you would need to give to a carrier on a particular route. You can come to this bundle counter tool, and you could select your routes or number of routes or all your routes. You could select the product. You could select the delivery type. Sometimes it's home delivery. Sometimes it could be TMC or something else. Usually you don't really know what the bundle count is until the day of delivery, so I could type it in, or I could use this little sliding bar to get what I want. Sometimes it's just easier to just type it in. If you have a steady hand, you could use the sliding bar. Groups to display. These groups are routes that are grouped together. So, for instance, you have a carrier that may have 2 routes. And so you'll want the bundle count to accommodate or display the information for 2 routes. And we can show you how to do that. All right, so then you would want to create the report. So let's say we want to display. And we will create the report. Let's see. Here. For some reason, let's try this again. Hold on for 1 second. Let's start this again. Let's see. All right. Let's try this again. All right, here we go. All right. So now this would be the bundle count report for all the routes for this particular product. Z1 would be home delivery. Here you can see the route number, the bundle size. This is what you entered for the bundle size for today. This will give you the draw for the route for this particular product. This will tell you how many bundles, if it was 40 per bundle, how many bundles you would need, plus your loose copies. So this would be 3 bundles minus 19 copies. The next one would be for this particular route, 2301. Again, we entered a bundle size of 40 for today. This particular route has 72 as a draw for the AJC. That would be 2 bundles minus 8 copies. This route would be 1 bundle plus 4 copies. So does everybody understand what you see here in the bundle count?
Yes. Hi, Fred, Annie. With the bundle count, I was trying to figure out why it didn't reflect like that on the mail part of our route book.
Annie?
2 bundles. I'm sorry?
Are you talking about on the carrier mail?
Yes.
We're not entering that into production yet. We're trying to come up with a format where Mary doesn't have to go into each individual branch in the bundle count, where she can do it, as a master.
Okay.
So for the time being, the carrier mail will not reflect the bundle counts.
So we're still going to get the set out sheets every night?
Mary, I believe they'll still get set out sheets every night, won't they?
I'm sorry, what are you referring to when you said set out sheets? You're not referring to data coming from RouteSmart. You're saying What, Melinda?
No,
From
the set-out
PCF.
sheets from AT. We're getting the set-out sheets now.
Okay, you continue.
Thank you. That's the question.
Okay.
Thank you, Darren.
So our question for our PCF friends was trying to figure out what to enter our bundle count information for all publications at the market level as to each individual district. Is that an option?
Mary, I think if I'm understanding correctly, you're asking, is it going to be is it going to actually go by district when that starts to happen for the bundle count at its mail?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch any of that.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to hear you.
Okay, if something's happening with the connection.
Yeah, maybe there's something that's happening with the connection because I'm hearing everyone break up.
Yeah.
So I really didn't catch any of that. But from what I'm hearing, or able to decipher, the bundle count is not going to be automatically generated until you guys provide us some information on your end that'll feed us the bundles of what the bundle count should be, so that it shows on the report. This tool is a manual tool that you would enter that information in and pull up the bundle count per product, as I just demonstrated.
Okay,
so usually, depending on the product, it may be a different bundle size for each product. So you most likely would not select all products and give one bundle count. You would select the product, you would select, add in the bundle count for that particular product and create your report for that product.
Right. But we were, like you said, so to get it, so to have that information in the system already populated on the mail and the route books or what have you, that has to come through our ASL file.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
What did you want to ask about those?
Okay. Was there another question?
Fred, on the grouping, this is Melinda, in existing groups, under the group, do we go to manage my group for that and then pick out the ones, because we have several people that get combined routes. So can we go into manage my group? Can we show people how to do that?
Yeah, so manage my group. This is where you can select a number of routes and join them together so that when they show on the report, down here at the bottom here, you have this route is grouped here. So you get a total that includes both routes. Right? In order to do that, you would come here to manage my group, select your routes that should be joined. Right? Select your routes that should be joined, and you would select join. When you select join, the routes will show up over here.
Okay.
Right? See how these two routes here are joined together?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's just say this particular carrier no longer does both of these routes. You could select this route, select release, and that will remove the join.
You can go ahead.
And then you go in and join. I can go ahead and do that? Okay, so I'm going to select release.
Thank you.
And this is not even a join because there's no other routes associated with it, so we're going to release that too.
Thank you.
Okay, so you would go into your manage my group, select the routes that should be joined together, and you select join down here at the bottom, and they'll show up here. So when the report is printed, those routes will be joined together and shown like this one is shown here in the report.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the two routes joined together, it'll give you the total for both.
Nice. Thank you.
Thank you, Fred.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
thank you.
I have another question. Yes, we had about 9 routes on our list. I pulled one of those lists last night, and we have about 9 routes that are not ours. Do I need to drop an email to you guys to let you know?
They're not your routes. They're somebody else.
No, they're not. Oh.
Yeah, send us the list of those routes.
Okay.
It could be a subscriber that that may be from another plant that is carrying a route number from another plant into your plant.
Yes, they're all
so we'll have to take a look at that and see if it actually belongs in your plant, or if it belongs on a different route.
Okay.
If it belongs on a different route, you'd have to let us know, what route it belongs. But that's the route that it's on in your system, so you would need to change that in your ASL that you're sending to us, so that it goes on to the correct route. But remember, you guys we're doing client level routing, so you guys are providing us the route number that each of these accounts are falling on.
Okay.
So if it's on the wrong route, then you're going to need to change that on your end so that it's fixed once the data is processed.
All right.
So you can send us the information. We can take a look at it. If it looks like there's something that needs to go to a different plant, then maybe we can move it or make an adjustment in the territory so that customer doesn't fall into your plant. Otherwise, if it's the wrong route, you would have to update your system on your end to provide us the right route number for that particular account.
Melinda, when you send those to him, would you also copy me on, please?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, Mark. Will do.
Okay. And also, there is a manage my advanced, but again, this information would be coming through your ASL, which we already discussed, and it would already have the bundle count numbers that should be applied here in order for you to really, schedule something in advance. So it's really no need to use this here because we don't really know what we have as far as bundles for tomorrow or for next week, let's say, or for next month. But in any case, if that was a situation that you have there, you would be able to come in here and select the date and manage a scheduled bundle here, but you don't really have anything here. Right?
So in the particular case of Wall Street Journal, for instance, there are 99% of the time there are 40 count. So you could actually go ahead and set up
if that is the case. Yeah, if that is the case, I would come in here and select the Wall Street Journal home delivery. I have that at 40, and I would schedule in advance. And I could schedule just a week. I could schedule a month or 2 months. All right, so let's just say I schedule a week, and I select schedule. So now I can come in and manage my advance. Should be able to manage my advance. I don't really see it now. There it goes. All right, so now I have the Wall Street Journal product here with a bundle of 40. I could change that bundle, or I can delete the entry.
Okay. And you can use groupings also for the future bundle counts. So in other words, if I had a carrier that was delivering, let's say 2 routes, I could use that also on this particular portion of it.
If you have a carrier, say that again.
Okay, I've got a carrier that delivers 2 routes, and I want the bundle count to show, to reflect, where the two routes are joined together on that bundle. I know you can do it when you're setting it up for that day, but can you also do it when you're setting it up for future days?
Well, this will just be setting up the bundle count for the future for that particular product. When you go into my groups will join routes together that need to be bundled together. That'll show you the total bundles for that group.
Okay.
Again, like it does here.
Right. Okay. I wasn't sure whether that would fall into the future or whether that was just for the current day. But if they're grouped together, they'll go regardless of whether you set it up. So okay.
Regardless whether it's for today or whether it's a scheduled a bundle.
Okay.
That grouping is going to remain there until you remove it.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So that is the bundle count tool. Any other questions on the bundle count tool? Report preferences. Let's go home here. Report preferences. We have a plant report preference, which is the one that you guys are using, and you have a route report preference, and you can copy your report preferences from one to another. Plant report preferences is it allows you to set up one report and that will be applied to all of your routes in the plant. So say, for example, everyone gets a 2-column route book and we want the format and the information displayed applied to everyone. So you would create a plant report preference. If you have a particular carrier that wants certain information displayed that's unlike anybody else, then you would want to create a route report preference just for that route. A route report preference will override the plant report preference. So when the report is created, it will display the way the preferences are in the route report preference, only for that route. Okay? So the plant report preferences is applied to all routes in the plant. A route report preference is just for a particular route that wants something else displayed other than what everybody else is getting in the plant. So let's take a look at the plant report preferences. We have the active list, we have labels, we have route books, we have label summaries, and summary reports. These are all the different types of reports that you can add or remove preferences to. So let's just say on the route books, let's start with that one first. We have a 1-column route book and we have a 2-column route book. If you know you're not interested in the 1-column route book, you can just unselect that and that report preference will go away. And now we're only looking at the 2-column route book. And these are all the different lines that can be displayed in a route book. So, for instance, you can display access codes. Those are codes that can be used to determine what type of access you have to a particular building, which would change the time of the delivery. For example, it could be a locked building or porch delivery, and that type of information can be displayed on the route book. The display address instructions, display delivery instructions. If that information is provided, that will display on the route book. You have some other options here, display business name. If it's a business, if you check that, the business name will There's some other stuff here where you can display zones, the delivery person's name. So the carrier's name can be displayed on the route book. If you want the complaints per thousand, the CPM to display on the route book, you can check that off, which that's what you have checked off there. The products in bold or not in bold, you can check that if you want it in bold. And show apartment building and floor in bold. Automatically order the building, floor, and apartment number. You may want it ascending. Some people may want it descending. Down at the bottom of your route book, or you could have at the top of your route book, or not displayed at all, the totals. Okay. If you make changes to your report preferences, you would always want to select Save Changes. If you no longer want this report, you could select Deactivate Report. So again, this is your report preference for the route book. Anything you check off will be displayed on the route book. Save your changes, or you can deactivate a report if you no longer need it. This report will be applied to all the routes in the plant. Any comments or questions on this? Since I'm already in the reports preference section, I can come down to the bottom and select different types of reports. Let's just say mail and labels. Again, the report types, I can uncheck the reports I don't want to see. This particular report, I can create a report for labels, sequence order. For example, this report here, I can select a particular product, and I can select a type of transaction that happened on the report. So let's just say restarts or new starts. I can create a label like this one here, where I could show new starts in a label. And that could be provided to all the carriers so that they have a label for every new start they have on their route book. So they could take the label, it's a new start, they could put the label on the paper and go on to their next delivery. It could be a complaint. It could be a restart or a stop. So that's the way you can create a particular type of label that you want to use for a particular product. Any questions on this? How to create a label report?
Can you tell us what do all of these different abbreviations stand for?
Well, these are your different products. And you have, a lot of different transactions. I don't, off the top of my head, I don't remember what each one of them are, but I think this was it's a complaint. I don't remember the ME. This is a new start. This is a product change. This is a restart. This is a stop. don't quite remember what the RC is in the ME.
Sorry, RC is repeat complaint and ME is memo.
Ah, that's what it is. Thank you, Debbie.
No problem.
And reason codes you have here, you can also add that in as an option. So, for instance, if you have a hot complaint, so you can select complaints, and you want to create a label for anything that's a third level hot complaint. So that's just an extra reminder. If you create that report, that you'll have a label printed for any account that's a third level hot complaint. Okay. There's other reports. Let's see. You have active subscriber list and alpha order. That's basically address order, sequence order. That's the order of the delivery on the route book. There's other reports like a do not deliver, usually for some type of TMC type of delivery. You can create a report for just weekday activity, weekend, or 7-day. So let's just say we want to look at the 7-day active list. And these are the different options that you could have on that, which is basically the same as any other report. Once you make your selection of what you want to display or not display, you would come down here and select Save Your Changes. I'm going to select a report. Let me see. This is a report, a weekday active list. So let's just say you wanted a report that doesn't automatically get generated every night for delivery, but you want the report to be generated every night. You can come into the report preference, find that report. Let's just say it's the weekday active list. You pull that report up. You select Activate Report. Once you activate the report, it means that this report will now become available during your final processing. So you would select the options that you want to display or not display, and you would select Save, and that will save the report. So again, I would select Activate, select my options, save my changes. Or if it's a report that I no longer need, I can find that report and deactivate the report. Any comments or questions on the report preferences? Each of these have a report preference. All the report preferences are the same. It's just whether you want it applied to the active subscriber list, type reports, label type reports, route book type reports, or summary reports. The actual options are pretty much the same for all. Again, the plant report preferences is for reports that you want applied to all routes in the plant. The next level of report is the route report preference. And you would use that for a particular route that wants something to display in the route book that's different from all the other reports. The route report preference will override whatever you have in the plant report preference. I know I'm 2 minutes over. We kind of started a little late, but I do want to get through these last 2 sections here, if you folks don't mind. You can copy a report preference So let's just say you have a report preference for an active subscriber list. Well, this particular report isn't active. Let's just say if it was, and you had your preferences already selected that you wanted, and let's say, okay, I want this route report preference applied to either all of my other routes or just a select few other routes. And let's just say I want to select these routes here, and I want to copy report preferences. So let's just say I wanted to do that. That means that whatever I set up as a route report preference for this route, for this report, will be copied to any route that I selected here. This is so if you're managing a bunch of route report preferences for each route, it's just an easier way to copy a preferred preference from one route to another and activate the report. But if you're only using plant report preferences, you really wouldn't need to do that because all the routes receive the same report with the same preferences. Okay, that's how you would copy a report preference.
Hey, Fred, it's Risto. I'm sorry. Just taking a time check at this point. We're at 10:04 for the CMG folks that are on the line. We can continue, but I'm not sure if anybody needs to jump off or not.
I think everyone wants to continue. We have one section left.
All right.
All right. Before we move to the next section, any other questions on report preferences? All right, so reporting groups. We'll jump to this last section for today. Report groups is, like I said before, a little fancier way to control what gets printed and when. You can see how this one's already set up for an early group and a late group. This means that these routes that are selected here come in early, and you want to be able to print their route books before everybody else to get them out the door and on their way. And these folks come in late, and so you'll select those routes, and those folks will get their route books printed out a little bit later than everyone else. You can edit these group descriptions by clicking on the edit group description. And like this one here for item number 1 is early. You can put a description there. Looks like this was a test. And you can update the description by changing that and select update. So that's how you would change the group heading. A little slow here. Okay, the warehousing name. This is if you had multiple locations that you're delivering out of, but it's all the same plant. You don't have that. You're all coming out of one plant, Rockdale. But there will be a way to manage the warehouse and how those routes would be printed. but you don't have that, so we're not going to really go over that. You can sort these groups by clicking on the group. So let's just say I wanted to sort these by the route. And it's sorted by the route. I can sort by early or later, any one of these group headers. So let's just say we have an early group and we want to create, I'm going to go down here to this button here. This will allow me to create the reports that I want for that particular group. So the reports that I want to select for the early group would be from the final run. Okay, and I would move the reports that I want to be printed for this group of people from this list of reports over here. And it's a drag and drop. So if I wanted the active vacation hold report printed here, then I would select that, drag it over. If I wanted a 1-column route book instead of the 2-column route book, I would drag the 1-column route book over and remove the 2-column route book. And then I would get reports the same way that you would get reports or print reports in the report section. You would get the reports and it would display all the reports, all the routes that were selected for that group, and they would get all these reports printed for that group in the order that you have the group entered. So the active vacation hold report would be first, the draw recap would be second, carrier mail would be third, and the 2-column route book would be the fourth report for that group. So the early group, I could come down here because I want to print the early group. And we have the active vacation hold report. I can put the active vacation hold report here. And I can get reports. All the reports will come up for all the routes that were selected in my group. And I can print them. Close. Then I can go to my next group when that group is ready to print. The difference is that when you go here in the regular report section, you can either select all the reports or you can go through and hold the control key and just select individual reports like that, or hold down the shift key and select the number of reports and you can print that. So you could kind of do the same thing manually every day, or you can go through the report grouping section and group the reports or group the routes together that you want to print certain reports. That's what the difference is. Most people just use the report section and print all the reports, and that's sufficient. Any comments or questions on how to use the report grouping? Okay, so just to recap, when you log in, you'll come to a home screen that has information in it as far as what activities are for today, vacant routes, the weather. You want to come in, you want to print your reports, you would go to the production report section to print your reports. If there's a report that you need to recreate for a particular carrier for some reason, you can come in and recreate the report in any style you want. For analysis section, you can come here to select routes or one or two routes or all your routes and do some analysis on a particular product for a particular day or all days of the week and view a particular report for analysis, not for delivery. The bundle counter will give you the ability to create a bundle count report per product, and it'll also allow you to group certain routes together so that the bundle can be totaled together by managing your groups. The report preferences is where you can set your plant report preferences or your route report preferences. I don't know what I mean. It's not coming up. Plant report preferences or your route report preferences. The plant report preferences is what you're using today. That's a report preference that applies to all routes in the plant. A route report preference is a preference created specifically for certain routes that will override the plant report preference. And the copy report is copying a route report preference from one route to another. To review some of this information that we went over today, you might want to go over to help and go to training to pull up the training documentation. Again, there's a lot of information here that we've gone over, and so you might want to view that. Tomorrow we'll be going over the complaints, the start mail, and some route management. Any comments or questions on today's training?
Fred, this is Debbie. Just, I know we had somebody earlier ask about the number of characters for the delivery instructions that will carry over from news cycle. So the answer to that was 250 characters will carry over.
Wow. Whole book. That's a lot.
Let's hope they don't keep that many in there.
Okay. I just want to make sure I didn't forget to tell you.
That takes a page all by itself.
That may clutter up your route book a little bit, but that's what you want.
Let's not tell our customer service reps that.
Yeah, don't let anybody know.
I agree.
Okay, anything else? Anything else? All right, if not, that's going to be the end of our training session for today, and we will talk again tomorrow morning, same time. All right?
Well, thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome.
If you
All right, everybody have a good day.
Good job, Fred. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank
Okay,
you.
have a good day. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.